Welcome to today's Explainer. So we're tackling a pretty massive design challenge today. If you've ever generated an AI image and just felt like it looked, well, like a chaotic plastic mess with absolutely zero soul, yeah, you're definitely not alone. Today, we're learning how to take that cold digital output and literally mold it into something tactile, intentional, and just deeply human. We're diving right into the philosophy of reducing digital noise. If you've ever felt totally disconnected from the art you're generating, or like your creative process is just being hijacked by some algorithm, this approach is going to completely reframe how you handle your craft. We're going to learn exactly how to make the artificial feel genuinely handmade.
Can artificial intelligence truly feel human? I want you to really think about that for a second, because this sets the absolute philosophical stakes for our whole explainer today. We're essentially questioning whether an algorithm, a system built entirely on just math and data, can ever actually replicate a tactile heartbeat. Like, can a machine's output evoke the exact same organic, emotional response as a painter's brushstroke or a sculptor's thumbprint? This is the core tension every single modern creator is facing right now. We've got these incredibly powerful tools right at our fingertips, but so often the result just feels, off. It feels totally hollow. And to understand why, we've got to look at what's actually standing in our way.
Section 1. The digital noise problem. A creative hurdle.
This is the exact friction we feel when we're wrestling with AI tools. It's that immediate sinking sense of frustration when the image you generate is, sure, technically impressive, but emotionally, completely empty. On one side, we have digital noise. It's overpolished, sterile, and just chaotic. It's that classic AI look where there's way too much happening, every single edge is impossibly sharp, and there's absolutely no breathing room. It just lacks soul. But then, compare that to what we actually crave, tactile art. We want something intentional. We want it raw. We want it to feel human and grounded. Basically, we want the art to feel like it was made by a living, breathing person, not a server rack.
Section 2. Defining digital noise. The sterile excess.
Okay, so to fix this problem, we first need to completely understand it. Digital noise is that excess, unrefined, or overly polished aesthetic you get in AI outputs. It's basically the machine deciding to randomly add 15 unnecessary gears to a clock, or this unnatural plastic sheen to a human face. Crucially, it creates friction, and it severely detracts from that raw human essence. Think about what happens when you look at an image that's just bursting with digital noise. Your eye literally doesn't know where to rest. That sterile excess totally breaks the illusion of a human touch. It alienates traditional creatives because it just completely removes human intent from the art. So it's not just about having too many pixels or weird artifacts. It's the visual representation of a machine doing way too much without the guiding restraint of human taste.
Section 3. Restoring the human touch. A tactile approach.
So, how do we actually restore that texture? Well, it requires a massive paradigm shift across 3 distinct phases. First up, you generate. You just accept the raw AI output and let the machine do its heavy lifting. But the second step, that's where the magic actually happens. Strip back. You actively remove all that digital noise we just talked about. And finally, refine. By stripping everything back, you actually reveal the tactile, human feel underneath. You see, as creators using AI, our primary job isn't really just generating anymore, it's curating and it's reducing. The absolute most important step in the modern design process isn't what the AI adds to the canvas, it's entirely about what you, the human, choose to strip away.
Let's dive a bit deeper into how we actually apply this intention. First, you've got to strip away that excessive polish. Take away that impossible, fake plastic shine. Second, reduce those chaotic visual artifacts. Give the viewer's eye a comfortable place to rest by removing all that background clutter that AI just loves to compulsively generate. Third, focus on raw and intentional aesthetics. Basically, make sure every single element left in the frame serves a distinct purpose. And finally, prioritize organic and human imperfections. Embrace a little bit of blur, a rough edge, maybe a muted color. Applying these specific principles directly resolves the digital noise problem, because by actively choosing imperfection, you weave that necessary organic friction right back into the art. You make it feel real again.
And this brings us to the ultimate goal here. Reducing digital noise creates a more tactile, human feel, helping viewers enter a flow state. This right here is the core philosophy of our source material, captured perfectly in a single sentence. We aren't just altering the visual aesthetic to make something look pretty, right? We're altering it because the visual directly impacts the psychological experience. When you take away that overwhelming digital noise, you stop jarring the viewer. Instead, you allow them to just effortlessly sink into the work.
Section 4. Entering the flow state. Deep focus in design. So what exactly happens to your mind when that noise is finally cleared away? Well, our source defines this flow state as a psychological zone of deep focus and fluid creativity, which is achieved during the design process when digital friction is removed. Look, when you're fighting against chaotic, overpolished AI outputs, your brain is just constantly experiencing friction. You're getting pulled out of your creative rhythm by these sterile roadblocks. You're endlessly tweaking prompts, wrestling with variations that always just barely miss the mark. But by adopting this philosophy of intentionally stripping back the noise, you literally eliminate that friction. You stop fighting the tool and you start guiding it. You bypass those roadblocks entirely, which allows you to reconnect deeply with your own fluid creative rhythm. You finally achieve a state where the design process just feels natural, unforced, and most importantly, deeply human.
Section 5. Making AI look handmade. Intentional reduction. All right, we've covered the problem, the method, and the payoff. If there is one core takeaway you remember from this entire journey, it's this. True handmade aesthetics in AI come from intentional reduction, not addition. It's kind of crazy because it's a complete inversion of how we usually think about technology, isn't it? We normally assume that to make something better with computers, we just need to add more pixels, more detail, more complexity. But reaching this tactile human feel and unlocking that elusive flow state, that relies entirely on the philosophy of less being more. It's actually through the act of removing the digital noise that we finally reveal the beating heart beneath the algorithm. I want to leave you with this final, pretty provocative thought to ponder. As AI tools inevitably continue to evolve and generate even more hyper-complex outputs, will a true mark of a master creator simply be what they choose to erase? Will human taste ultimately be defined by our restraint? Thank you so much for joining me for today's Explainer. I really hope this philosophy helps you find your own flow state and bring that essential human touch right back into your creative work. Keep reducing the noise, and I'll see you next time.